Have you ever looked down at your legs in the evening and thought, why do my ankles look puffier than this morning? Or maybe you've been sitting in your favorite recliner, only to realize your toes feel like they've been dipped in ice water. That chilly, tingly, or swollen feeling in your lower legs might seem like just part of getting older. But let me tell you, it doesn't have to be. These little discomforts are more than just annoyances. They're signs that your circulation, your blood flow, isn't quite working like it used to. And that matters, especially after 80. Why? Because poor circulation doesn't just make your feet cold or your legs feel heavy. It can affect your energy, your balance, your sleep, and even your heart health. But here's the good news. Improving it doesn't require anything extreme. No special equipment, no pills, no long workouts. In fact, just 5 simple habits you can do every day, right from your home, can bring warmth back to your toes, reduce swelling in your legs, and give you more ease when you move. Let's talk about the first one. And it's so simple, it might surprise you. It's a movement. Gentle, consistent movement. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I already move around when I need to. What more do I have to do? But the trick here isn't about how long you move, it's about how often. You see, when we sit for long stretches, maybe reading, watching a show, working on a puzzle, blood tends to settle in the legs. That's why you might feel stiffness or tightness when you stand up. But when you move your body, even just a little, your leg muscles help push that blood back up to your heart, keeping things flowing. Let me give you an example. There's a gentleman named Joe, 84 years old, who lives in North Carolina. Every morning, he used to sit for an hour sipping coffee and reading the newspaper. Sounds lovely, right? But by noon, he said his calves would feel tight and his socks would leave marks around his ankles. So he made a tiny change. Every 30 minutes, he'd stand up, stretch his legs, and walk around his dining table just twice. That's it. And within a week, the swelling had gone down. He even told me, my slippers don't feel like they're squeezing my feet anymore. Even if walking feels too tiring, seated movements can work wonders. Try this. While watching TV, lift your heels up and down slowly, like you're tapping your toes. Or do slow ankle circles. These simple movements help wake up the veins and keep blood from pooling. Another sweet lady I know, Marilyn, she's 87 and lives alone in Michigan, has a little routine she calls her chair cha-cha. Every hour, she sets a timer and dances in place for just one song. Doesn't matter if it's Frank Sinatra or Elvis, she moves her arms, shuffles her feet, and smiles the whole time. And guess what? Her legs feel warmer, and she sleeps better at night. Now, speaking of feeling better, let's talk about something that affects more of us than we'd like to admit. Not drinking enough water. It may sound simple, almost too simple, but staying well hydrated is one of the most powerful and underrated ways to improve circulation, especially as we get older. Many people think of hydration as something that only matters during the summertime or after a long walk. But the truth is, your body depends on water every hour of the day to keep your blood flowing smoothly. When you don't drink enough, your blood starts to thicken, and thick blood doesn't move easily. Imagine trying to suck maple syrup through a tiny straw. It's slow, sluggish, and sticky. That's what your heart and veins are dealing with when you're even slightly dehydrated. They have to work harder to push blood through narrow vessels, especially down in your legs, where circulation naturally becomes more difficult with age. Let me tell you about Mr. Raymond, a spirited 90-year-old who still reads the newspaper cover to cover every morning and enjoys tending to his rose bushes in the backyard. Sharp as a tack and proud of his independence, he never gave much thought to his hydration. But last winter, he began noticing something odd. His feet were ice cold, even while wearing thick wool socks. He tried extra blankets, heating pads, even warming foot baths, but nothing seemed to help. He chalked it up to the cold weather and tried to ignore it. During a routine checkup, his nurse gently asked, "How much water do you usually drink in a day?" Raymond paused, thought for a moment, and replied, "Well, I have my morning coffee, and maybe a glass of water with dinner if I remember." That was it. And right there was the missing piece. So he decided to make one small, doable change. He filled a glass pitcher with fresh water every morning and set it next to his reading chair, the spot where he spent most of his afternoons. He added a few lemon slices and a sprig of mint, just to make it look and taste a bit more appealing. Every time he glanced over at the pitcher, he'd take a sip. No timers, no pressure, just a gentle nudge toward better hydration. Within days, Raymond noticed a difference. His feet felt warmer, the aching in his calves eased, and perhaps best of all, he no longer woke up at night needing to rub his legs to find relief. All from something as simple as drinking water consistently throughout the day. When your body is well hydrated, your blood becomes thinner and flows more freely, especially to the smallest vessels at the tips of your toes and fingers. It's like oiling the hinges of a door. It allows everything to move more smoothly. On top of that, water helps flush out excess sodium from your system, which can reduce swelling and bloating in your legs and ankles, something so many seniors struggle with without even realizing the cause. Now, I know some folks are hesitant about drinking more water because they worry about running to the bathroom all day. That's completely understandable. But here's the thing, you don't need to gulp down large glasses at once. That can overwhelm your bladder. Instead, think about taking small, steady sips throughout the day. A little bit every hour goes a long way and is much easier on your system. And let's not forget, hydration doesn't have to come only from plain water. Herbal teas like peppermint, ginger, or chamomile are not only soothing but hydrating too. In fact, some of these teas even help improve circulation by gently expanding blood vessels. A warm cup of tea in the afternoon can be both comforting and good for your legs. So whether it's a pitcher on your table, a favorite mug filled with hot herbal tea, or a bottle of water you carry from room to room, staying hydrated is one of the most loving things you can do for your body. And the best part? It's easy, it's free, and it starts working almost immediately. Hydration may not come with fanfare or instant rewards, but over time, you'll notice your legs feel lighter, your feet warmer, and your energy more stable. Just like Raymond, that one small change could be the difference between discomfort and ease. So give your body the gentle support it needs, a sip at a time. And here's another tip from my friend Clara, 86, who lives in Florida. She struggled with swollen ankles every afternoon, especially after lunch. One day, she started keeping a reusable water bottle by her side while knitting. She sipped without even thinking. After a week, she called me and said, "I haven't had to loosen my slippers once this week." Isn't it amazing how just a little more water and a bit more movement can make such a big difference? These two habits, gentle movement and daily hydration, are like the roots of a tree. They support everything else. They keep the blood flowing, the legs lighter, and the body warmer from the inside out. And when we combine them with just a few more daily choices, that's when real change begins. So, let's keep going. Now that we've got our bodies gently moving and we're sipping our way to better hydration, it's time to talk about another quiet game changer, what we eat. Yes, food. But don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to give up everything you love. In fact, I'd never suggest a drastic diet, especially after 80 when comfort and tradition matter just as much as nutrition. What I will say is this: your plate can be one of your strongest allies when it comes to boosting blood flow to your legs. Let's start with something colorful, foods rich in natural antioxidants and nitrates, like beets and berries. These might seem like fancy health store items, but chances are they're already in your fridge or can be added to your routine easily. Beets, for example, are packed with natural compounds that help open up blood vessels. They work almost like nature's version of a circulation booster, and they're easy to add to meals. You can roast them, grate them into a salad, or even sip on a little beet juice in the morning. Take my neighbor Mrs. Gaines. She's 82, grew up on a farm, and still gardens every spring. She used to get terrible swelling in her ankles by mid-afternoon, especially during the warmer months. Her doctor suggested medication, but she wanted to try something natural first. So she started adding a small serving of roasted beets to her lunch 3 days a week. After 2 weeks, she told me, I was able to wear my favorite sandals again, no puffiness. And it's not just beets. Berries, like blueberries, strawberries, and even cherries, are full of antioxidants that strengthen your blood vessels and improve circulation. Plus, they taste great. I know one gentleman, Harold, who's 89 and lives in a senior community in Oregon. Every morning, he adds a handful of frozen blueberries to his oatmeal. He calls them his leg medicine. He used to get cold toes every evening while watching TV, but not anymore. Now he's warm, comfortable, and even walks a little more without needing to stop and rest. It's these tiny tweaks, not a complete overhaul, that really add up. Now, let's move on to something a little more unexpected. Elevating your legs. Yes, simply raising your legs for a few minutes a day can make a world of difference, especially if swelling and heaviness are getting in your way. You see, when you elevate your legs above heart level, gravity helps your blood flow back toward your heart. This gives your veins a little break from doing all the work themselves. Let me tell you about Edna. She's 91 and lives with her daughter in Texas. Every evening after dinner, she used to sit in her recliner and feel her legs throbbing by bedtime. Her doctor recommended compression stockings, but they felt too tight and hard to manage on her own. So instead, her daughter helped her develop a simple routine. After dinner, Edna props her legs up on 2 pillows for 15 to 20 minutes while listening to her favorite old radio shows. That's it, just a quiet little habit that became part of her day. 3 weeks in, she said, I don't get that aching in my calves anymore. Her daughter even noticed Edna wasn't as restless at night. No tossing and turning, no rubbing her legs. Just better flow and better sleep. You can do the same. Whether it's lying on the couch with your legs on the armrest or using a few sturdy pillows in bed, elevating your legs can help reduce that swelling and give your veins a break from the uphill battle. And if getting all the way down into bed to prop your legs up is difficult, you can even sit in a sturdy chair and rest your legs across another chair in front of you. The key is to raise them higher than your hips. Even a little bit can help. Now, while we're talking about comfort and good circulation, let's touch on something that gets overlooked all too often: your footwear. That's right, what you put on your feet every morning can directly affect your blood flow by evening. Tight socks, stiff shoes, or slippers that don't fit well can actually slow circulation and even restrict blood flow to your toes. You'd be surprised how many people I've met who thought their circulation was the problem, when really it was their shoes. Let me share a story. Frank is 85, a retired teacher, and lives in upstate New York. He used to wear the same pair of lace-up shoes every day, comfortable, or so he thought. But he started getting numbness in his toes and assumed it was nerve damage. His doctor checked everything and finally asked, "When was the last time you measured your feet?" Turns out, Frank's feet had widened with age, but his shoes hadn't kept up. Once he switched to a pair of soft, wider-fitting walking shoes with supportive soles, the difference was night and day. No more tingling, no more tightness. Sometimes even socks can be part of the problem. If your socks leave deep marks around your ankles by the end of the day, that's a sign they're too tight and possibly cutting off circulation. Try switching to loose, non-binding socks, especially ones made for circulation support. There are many out there specifically designed for seniors with sensitive legs and feet. You might not feel it immediately, but trust me, your legs will thank you. So between those circulation-friendly foods, a little time with your feet up, and making sure your shoes and socks support you, not squeeze you, you're already halfway there. You don't need to chase big, complicated health changes. These gentle shifts in your day-to-day life are more than enough to give your legs the relief and support they need. Let's keep going. There's one more daily habit that ties it all together and helps keep your blood flowing, your energy up, and your legs feeling lighter, especially as the years roll on. So far, we've explored how daily movement keeps your blood flowing, how proper hydration keeps it circulating smoothly, how certain foods, like berries and beets, nourish your blood vessels, how elevating your legs gives your veins a much-needed break, and how better fitting socks and shoes can support your body from the ground up. These small shifts might seem simple on their own, but together they work like a symphony, helping your legs feel warmer, stronger, and more alive. Now, let's talk about the final daily habit, the one that quietly ties everything together: intentional breathing and mindful relaxation. You might be thinking, breathing? That's something I do without even thinking. And you're right, we all breathe. But many of us are only breathing in a shallow, hurried way. We're not filling our lungs. We're not letting our bodies fully relax. And over time, that constant low-grade tension can lead to constricted blood vessels, higher blood pressure, and, you guessed it, poor circulation to the legs and feet. So how does something as simple as breathing help? Well, when you take long, deep breaths, you activate a part of your nervous system called the parasympathetic system. It's often referred to as the rest and restore system. It tells your body to let go of stress. Your heart rate slows down. Your blood vessels open up. Oxygen flows more freely, and circulation improves, not just in your chest or brain, but all the way down to your toes. Let me introduce you to Judy, an 89-year-old retired school teacher from Ohio. For years, she struggled with icy feet and frequent leg cramps, especially at night. Her doctor had her on medications. She tried compression stockings, warm baths, foot massages, you name it. Nothing seemed to bring lasting relief. That is, until her granddaughter, who's a yoga instructor, taught her a simple breathing routine. 5 minutes of slow inhaling through the nose, holding for a moment, and exhaling slowly through the mouth. They called it breathing to the toes. At first, Judy didn't think much of it. How could breathing fix my feet? She laughed. But after just 1 week of practicing it twice a day, once in the morning, once before bed, something shifted. Her feet started to warm up on their own. She began falling asleep more easily, and the cramps, they nearly disappeared. What she once thought was a quirky trick turned out to be a vital tool her body had been missing. Now, you don't need to learn yoga or sit cross-legged on the floor to practice mindful breathing. Just find a comfortable chair, sit upright with your feet on the ground, rest your hands on your belly or your lap, and take 5 deep breaths. That's it. Let your belly rise as you inhale. Let your shoulders drop as you exhale. Do this morning and night, or anytime you feel tense. You might be amazed by how quickly your body responds. And remember, deep breathing isn't just good for circulation. It helps reduce anxiety, improve focus, and even aids digestion. So if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, scattered, or just plain tired, give yourself a quiet moment. It's one of the most powerful things you can do for your health, and it costs nothing at all. Let's talk for a moment about the bigger picture. Every tip we've shared, whether it's drinking more water, walking to the mailbox, eating a handful of blueberries, or propping your legs up on a pillow, has one thing in common. They're all gentle, loving ways of telling your body, I'm here for you. Too often, as we age, we're told to just deal with it. The stiffness, the swelling, the fatigue, the discomfort, many people shrug it off thinking, that's just what happens after 80. But I'm here to remind you, your body still wants to heal. It still wants to feel good. It's still listening to how you treat it. Take Howard and Ruth, for example. They're 91 and 88, living together in a small home in Nebraska. They've been married for 67 years and have been through it all. Wars, kids, grandkids, hip surgeries, a few hospital stays. And last year, Ruth was dealing with heavy swelling in her legs. Howard had developed poor balance and numbness in his feet. Both were told by their doctor that these were expected signs of aging. But Ruth, being the determined soul she is, wasn't satisfied with that answer. She began reading about circulation, asking questions, trying things at home. She and Howard made small changes. They began walking slowly together after breakfast and dinner. They both drank more water by keeping a shared pitcher on the kitchen table. Ruth added spinach and beets to their meals a few times a week. They began ending their evenings with 10 minutes of music and deep breathing. And guess what? Within a month, Ruth's legs weren't ballooning by midday. Howard said he could feel the floor beneath his feet again. They didn't reverse time, but they absolutely turned back the discomfort. They reclaimed a part of their vitality. And perhaps most importantly, they felt empowered. That's what I want for you. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or even 90 plus, it's never too late to listen to your body with love. Your legs have carried you through a lifetime of memories. They've held your weight during the hardest days, and they've danced with joy on the best ones. They've walked you through heartbreak, through healing, and through homecomings. And now, they deserve your care. You don't need to make drastic changes. You don't need to chase you. You simply need to show up for your body each day, with movement, with nourishment, with comfort, with calm, and trust that these small acts add up. And beyond your legs, this is a philosophy for your whole life. Want better health after 80? Start by being kind to yourself. Make time to move, to breathe, to drink, to stretch, to rest, to laugh. Don't chase perfection, just chase consistency. And find joy in the little victories. Less swelling today, warmer toes this evening, steadier steps tomorrow. Let your health journey be filled with grace, not pressure. Let it be about feeling good, not just looking good. Let it be about living well, not just longer. And if today's video helped you even a little, if it sparked an idea or gave you hope, please take a moment to like this video and share it with a friend who might need it. Leave a comment below and let me know which of these habits you're most excited to try, or how you've been taking care of your legs and circulation. Your voice matters here, and someone else might read your story and feel less alone. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We're building a space for seniors who want to age with intention, wisdom, and wellness. A space where small changes make a big difference, and where every step forward is worth celebrating. So here's to you, to warmer feet, to lighter steps, to evenings without swelling, and mornings full of energy. Here's to honoring the legs that have carried you, and the life that's still ahead of you. Because every day is a new chance to feel better. And you, my friend, deserve every bit of that.